Now, everyone who will participate in the final episode, please gather together.
Yes.
How is the voice training going?
Red leather, yellow
Peter
leather.
Piper picked a peck of pickled
She
peppers.
sells seashells by the seashore.
Betty Botter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter.
It looks good. Let's start with episode 12. Episode 12. A Ray of Light. Big Rose and Miller come to an underground water vein in the ancient forest. Big Rose looks around the cavity curiously. Where are we? Miller was happy to come alone but is grumpy because Big Rose has come. Miller replies in a huff.
It's a water vein deep underground. A fissure formed in the ground, trapping the animals that fell in.
I see, but look. They are shoveling out wood chips.
Someone is digging up there.
Big Rose peers into the tunnel leading up. Very long tunnel. As two ascended along the roots, they saw the blue bird at the end of the path. The blue bird had run out of energy just before coming out of the ground. Its beak was chipped, and its wings were in tatters. It was blind. That blue bird must have dug that tunnel. How many days it took? Beside the blue bird, LaRue is frantically calling out.
Come on, get up.
But the blue bird does not wake up. At that moment, Big Rose felt the mind of the big tree. It was this tree that taught this bird how to escape. It is rotting its own roots on purpose.
She's making it easier for the birds to dig. Grandma Sonya, good job.
Is this tree Grandma Sonya?
Yes, it is. Didn't you notice?
She have been guiding him for such a long time. That's amazing. She knows this bird was born to do this. Big Rose huffed. Wow, I can read the mind of this tree.
It's because you're plants, isn't it?
No, it comes from your mirror. Perhaps this is why Sir Picture called me.
What do you mean?
You are a mirror that reflects the soul to bring out your true power. Just then, a voice echoes around the area.
You're almost there. Wake up.
Then the blue bird wakes up, and LaRue shouts.
Yes. One more poke, then you're out.
The bird uses its last ounce of strength to push up off the ground. Slightly, the beak comes out. Yes, did it. LaRue and Big Rose rejoiced hand in hand. Pushed to the ground by snails and squirrels, the bird lay directly on the ground. The animals that had been trapped in the tunnel came out one after another. Afterwards, animals on the ground enter the tunnel. Big Rose says, "From now, everyone in the forest can drink water." LaRue has a feeling of contentment coming from the bird as it lies down. Excellent! You had such a beautiful soul. Then Big Rose remembers that she has come to bring LaRue back. Big Rose says, "Let's go back. A man had come looking for you."
It's Jake.
LaRue then go into the light. When Big Rose about to enter next, Miller called out.
Hey, look.
The soul had just emerged from the dead blue bird and was about to fly away. Big Rose touches the mirror of Miller. Grandma Sonya praises that bird for seeing it through to the end. Big Rose is hearing the voice of the big tree. The tree says,
You did a great job, thanks.
Big Rose says, because he ended his life this way, his stone became such a beautiful white color. The soul of the bird flies toward the light on the horizon. In Akasha, staff members gather around the screen to watch. The ending narration is playing from the video. Have you understood the laws of the universe? Just by going out Akasha normally, you will be considered a good soul. The staff cheered when the video ended.
It's good how many times we watch. The only good thing about Junk Soul coming is that we can see this.
Humans call it a mystery.
1,000 years too early for humans.
At that moment Laru returns to Akasha. Jay is asleep on a sofa. Laru calls out to him, and he wakes up. Jay stretches out and his eyes meet the sofa.
That was a good feeling, thanks.
Sofa smiles smugly. Jay says to Laru.
Well, let's go back.
Jay slowly walks to the door. Then, Picture says to Jay,
You came in separately. Therefore, you can't get out the door with the boy.
Yes, you must go out at different times.
I thought about it. I decided to stop hitting the rocks.
What?
Because it seems pain.
What were you listening in the video?
Jay ignores and walks to the door. Picture says in a panic.
If two people leave at once, it will be a big problem.
It's my fault that this happened. I must save this boy.
You don't be so selfish.
Jay does not stop. Picture shouts.
Get him.
Sofas, chairs, and others jumped at Jay. But Jay quickly avoids them. Jay turns around.
Oh no.
Too bad.
They're not good at like this.
Goodbye.
Stop it.
Jay kicks open the door and throws Laru. He then jumps out himself. At that moment, the inside of Akasha explodes violently, and the staff is blown away. This is the large rock shelf plaza. There is no one here now except Sonya and Emmy.
Where did they all go?
They seem to go to Uncle G's.
Why?
Reason unknown.
That's when it happened. An explosion echoed around the area, and a huge storm ball appeared. Various objects are spinning in the storm ball. Sonya said.
What's that?
Although not visible to Sonya, among the various objects were Laru and Jay. Jay grabs Laru with one hand and sticks the knife into the crate with the other. The next time the storm ball rose, they were out of the storm zone. They fell side by side on the crate and looked at each other. Both don't know what happened. Their last memory is falling off a cliff and nearly hitting a rock. Watching at the knife, Laru asks,
Is this knife saved us?
Probably.
The interior of the Akasha has been destroyed and is now an infinite space. The staff members float in midair, slowly being drawn to the center of the light. Picture looks at the steel door and shouts,
Get out of there.
At the large rock shelf plaza, a huge storm ball is slowly rising. Emmy spotted Camise flying in on the other side of it.
Uncle G has really come.
Sonya says.
Why he comes?
Emmy runs to guide the plane to land. Jay realizes this and jumps off the crate and runs. Emmy doesn't know that Uncle G can't land. Jay yells Emmy.
Run away.
Turning around, Emmy stopped moving in surprise.
Why is Jay here?
Camise is closing in behind her. Jay jumped on Emmy and rolled straight into a rumble. Camise bounces on the ground and now changes direction, heading toward Laru. Laru is looking towards Camise but doesn't notice it. At that moment, the metal door behind Laru opens. Pen Stand and Mirror, who are trying to escape from Akasha, notice Laru.
That kid.
Camise charges towards Laru.
Laru.
Laru comes to his senses, then quickly ducked down. They are surprised by Camise charging towards them.
Wow.
Mirror leans back, pushing the staff member behind him back. The force of the blow sends everyone flying into the air.
That kid again.
Hold on.
Floor lamp threw the rope. All the staff grabbed it, but it didn't reach Pen Stand. Pen Stand slowly moved away.
It's the space of nothingness. You'll be sucked in.
Emmy asks Jay as she lies on the ground.
Why are you here?
I don't know either. More importantly.
Jay says, looking at Camise.
Why is Uncle G flying? He told me to come.
Because he is moody.
He doesn't know how to land.
Kamise is making a big left turn.
Looks like he can come back. Is there an air move?
Not here.
So let's use that one.
Jay and Emmy run to the luggage cart. Emmy gets in the driver's seat and Jay holds the rope with the hook inside the cart.
Okay. They'll be searching for you not just on the island, but all over the world. Don't ever think about going back.
Following Kamise's lead, Emmy starts the cart. And she smiles as best she can and says,
If you die, I won't forgive you.
I see.
Emmy turns forward, holds back tears, and whispers,
Hopeless idiot.
Jay begins to spin the rope over his head. LaRue, lying face down on the crate, notices that Jay is about to jump onto Kamise.
Jay!
LaRue starts running. Jay throws a rope with a hook, which finally catches Kamise. As Jay hangs from the rope, the cart loses balance and flips over, sending Emmy tumbling to the ground.
Emmy.
Emmy immediately looks up and sends a sign to Jay that she's safe. Jay sends a sign back to Emmy. When Jay turns to face forward, LaRue is waiting for the rope.
LaRue.
Jay climbs up to the Kamise's aircraft and pulls up the rope that was dragging along the ground. LaRue jumps up toward the bottom end of the rope.
No.
At that moment, Jay springs up the rope. LaRue's hand does not reach the ropes and he rolls to the ground. LaRue is stunned and watches Kamise fly away.
Jay!
On Kamise, Jay talks to Uncle G.
You're good for a first-timer.
It looked easy to me.
Then they take over the controls. Jay makes a big turn on Kamise. Sonya comes to LaRue. LaRue is at a loss.
Jay is worried about you very much. He's going back to a world of life and death. He can't take you to that world. For him, you're his brother. No more than that.
At that moment, Sonya noticed Kamise coming back.
Can you let him leave without worrying?
Sonya shows Kamise coming toward LaRue. LaRue stands up and looks. They could see Jay's face. Jay shouts,
LaRue.
Jay!
I can't take with you. Forgive me.
Of course, I forgive.
When Kamise is closest, Jay throws the knife and the belt. LaRue catches it.
Sonya, please take care of LaRue.
Of course, leave it to me.
LaRue thinks he has to say something. Then, LaRue shouts,
I'm okay.
That was the best he could do. Jay will send the sign back to LaRue. LaRue says,
I didn't know what to say.
He has got our message.
Really?
Yes.
And Sonya has the same words as the big tree in the forest.
You did a great job, thanks.
LaRue watched Kamise as he flew away. May's air move arrives.
LaRue?
At these words, Pamela, who had been lying face down, looks up.
What?
May got off air move and starts to run. Then she kneels in front of LaRue.
Are you really LaRue?
Pamela watches from afar, still in disbelief. Suddenly she smiled and started running. But the person she was headed to was Sonya, not LaRue. Pamela jumps and hugs Sonya. Sonya does not know what is going on. Pamela whispers,
Watch this.
Pamela takes out a piece of paper she had in her brooch and hands it to Sonya. Sonya reads,
Return to real mother.
Not that way, opposite side.
Please help LaRue.
The paper was tiny, so I wrote a short note like this. Then this even saved him from dropping.
Dropping? What?
Pamela points in the direction of the power generation facility.
LaRue fell off the big propeller over the waterfall earlier.
Is that the power plant?
Yes.
That can't happen.
Teehee.
On the crate, Akasha staff are tugging on a rope stretching from the door. Big Rose in it is looking at May and LaRue. What happened to girl May? The rope being pulled looks like it's in pain. Finally, the last pen stand and mirror appears.
Finally, I'm out.
Now I'm safe.
I need your help. Big Rose flew to May and mirrored Mala. Then all the stones were completely white. Big Rose is thrilled to say, "Girl May, wounds of your soul were healed." By looking at her in the mirror, Big Rose was able to read May's soul. The long suffering was over now. No more nightmares. Big Rose pats her face with both leafy hands. Congratulations! Of course, May cannot be touched or heard. Pen stand comes and take turns looking into the mirror.
This boy's mala has also turned white.
Wow! It's a miracle.
The staff members are talking about miracles. Picture calls out to everyone.
Enough, let's go.
The mirror follows the voice and soars into the sky. Floor lamp speaks to the mirror.
What's good happen? You look so happy.
Yeah.
It was a look of confidence on Mirror's face that Floorlamp had never seen before. While everyone else was rising one after another, Big Rose could not leave May. Floorlamp approached to her.
Come on, we have to leave now.
Big Rose replies. Then, with her eyes fixed on May, she gradually ascends into the sky. At that moment, May suddenly looked up at the sky. Her eyes were on Big Rose. She couldn't see Big Rose's face or figure, but they two could look at each other. May seemed to smile a little. Big Rose smiles back. May and Big Rose gradually move away from each other, maintaining eye contact. I hope you'll be happy, girl May. Akasha's staff went up into the sky. To the east, Camise looks like a bird in the light. It is the same as the picture on the brooch. It is that scene that remains in Sonya's mind. Pamela shows Sonya the brooch. Sonya is so moved that she cannot speak. At Camise, Uncle G is happily chatting away.
So, I got a sudden order and suddenly I needed a ship. They said, as gathering divers, they pay for all of them. So, I gathered all the portmen. Everyone is overjoyed that it's a good way to make some extra money. It's all because of you.
Jay said.
Because of me?
The seashore where Jay fell. The search for Jay continues the rocks just below the power generation facility. Then the ships of Uncle G's company Gorel Express, hired by Conter, arrived one after another. From the ship, men of the port, dressed as divers, jump into the sea one after another. There are more than 100 of them. They are happily diving and climbing on the rocks. At the large rock shelf plaza, Sonya watches her family leave in the plaza. Emmy is alone, staring at the eastern sky, even after the Camise is out of sight. That evening, May's house. LaRue uses a knife to peel back the veneer of her room. The atelier is gradually becoming visible. It is the mother's white studio that Pamela told him about. LaRue asks Pamela,
Will this allow my mother to create new works of art?
Pamela nods happily.
Then, did you write it?
Yes, I did.
LaRue hands Pamela a piece of paper on which he has written his wish. Pamela looks at it.
I see. You will meet him again.
Is that some kind of spell?
It's a secret.
At that moment, May's voice is heard from the living room.
Hey, you two, dinner's ready.
Pamela answered and entered the living room. LaRue, who was about to follow her, suddenly stopped and looked at the eastern sky. The end. After this, LaRue's room will become the original white studio. There, May will return to her old days of staring at stones. Someday, LaRue may go on a journey to find Jay. It will also be a journey to fulfill the wish that was put on the brooch. Emmy and Jay were attracted to each other, even though there was no sign of it. Will they meet again, or will they have to say goodbye until the next life? By the way, who was Jay in past life? Did you find out?
See you again.
Bye-bye.
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 If you think this story is good, please share it on social networking sites. I hope this story will be passed on to as many people as possible. I will be very happy if you like each of the 12 episodes.